Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever beautiful time you're going to come across this lovely message. Happy Sunday to you all. It's a beautiful Sunday. How is your day? How is everything going around there with you? So, is your girl? I am back again. So, I am back with another amazing message this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, or depends on the time of the place that you are watching me from. So I'm back with another topic of forgiveness. So I want to be talking about forgiveness today. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you for joining. Please, as you are coming, just do me a favor to share. Let me share the video. Help me to share, invite people to come in, invite friends to join. Just sharing. Yeah, I'm just sharing it out. I'm sharing the link out. Before we continue, right, let me still share. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I just want us to talk about forgiveness. I want to talk about forgiveness because in our community, when I mean our community, is like people just take forgiveness like it's kind of a very easy thing for somebody to just do. They just say, forgive, just forgive, just forgive, just forgive, just forgive. Yes, so I want to talk about forgiveness. I want to dive into it a bit. I want to talk about what I understand when they mean forgiveness. How do I understand it when somebody said forgive? Because we always said as a Christian, it's good we forgive, it's good we forgive. Yes, it's a very easy word to use that. You know, you are a Christian, you know the Bible said we should forgive one another. But before you ask somebody to forgive, there is some part that we always miss while we are encouraging someone to forgive somebody. Maybe they have wronged somebody. Once we are encouraging, we try to encourage somebody and we are kind of trying to convince that person that just forgive, just forgive, just forgive. But there is something that we all miss that we never want to find out. What happened? The basic thing is not really, maybe the person can explain to you what happened, but we don't really dive into it. How hurt has this person been hurt with the situation that person is being on now? Because the problem is that before you can forgive somebody, it has to be something that comes from your mind. It has to be something that really comes from your mind before you can do it. And before you can forgive somebody, you have to really feel it from your mind. Because sometimes it's just easy, if you are not in the situation, it's just easy for you to just say to somebody and say, oh, I've heard what happened, just forgive. No, to forgive somebody, the person needs to feel it. The person needs to feel it from her mind or from his mind before he or she can decide to forgive or not. Because sometimes we do encourage people, just forgive, just forgive, just forgive. But you don't know the damages that this person might have had just because of that incident. And you don't know the trauma that this person might have gone through just because of this incident that happened, and you don't know what that person might have lost, what the person might have lose just because of the situation that the other person dragged the person in. So I really want us to talk about this part, is that if you are someone, before you ask somebody to forgive the person, just try to find out how are you feeling about the situation. That should be the number one question we should ask. How are you feeling? Because before you dive into something and just saying to somebody, forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive, try to find out how is this person feeling. How is this person feeling? Please do not fail to give me my thumbs up. Just go out, go and give me my thumbs up and come in, please. I'm not seeing any thumbs up on it. So before we just preach to somebody that just forgive, try to find out How have you been hurt with the situation? Has this situation caused you any hurt damages? Has this situation make you to lost something? Because it's just kind of a very simple thing for us to say to people and just say, oh, sometimes when people don't want to forgive, we are just kind of, oh, this person, she's too heartless or he's too heartless, he don't want to forgive. You don't know. We need to find out first. Ask this person, how hurt have you been with this situation? Has this situation dragged you to any medical has this situation drag you to have any medical issue? That should be the first question that we should be concerned. We should be concerned about that person well-being. How is the person feeling about that situation? Should be the first priority for us as a human before we start telling somebody to forgive. Forgiveness is a very simple thing for us. It's a very simple word for us to use. There is a very massive thing for somebody to do. And for the person to forgive, you need to give this person chance. All depends on how hurt this person might have been with the situation. All depends on how damages this person must have received with that present situation. So before the person can make up her mind or his mind, if he or she should forgive or not. And when people forgive, the other part that we human, we also have a problem of that. That's the way I would see it. When somebody will say, I have forgive, and we are kind of that. If she has forgive, why can't them be together? No. Forgiveness is one thing. And the other part of forgiveness is, if you forgive somebody, it now depends on the damages that that person have caused you. That is what will determine if you should forgive that person and move on with the person. It can be a man, it can be a relationship, it can just be a normal friendship. It can be normal, just normal friendship. It's not that love affair. You get my point? Because sometimes it happens between friends that friends can fall out. Something serious might have happened. Both of them just split, and people is just kind of pushing them to bind together again. Oh, forgive. Then when one will say, I have forgive, then they will say, oh, if you have forgive, why is it that if she's calling you, you are not picking a call? No, forgiveness don't work like that. Sometimes we should try to take this in the right way. We should try to take things at the right way, in the right way, the way it's supposed to be. We should not just be taking something sometimes the way it's convenient for us and the way it's comfortable for us. We should not be taking things that way. We should learn as well how to live with others as well, how to understand other people's situation. Thank you for joining. Don't fail to give me my thumbs up. Good morning. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining. So we should learn as well how to understand other people situation, how to understand. Oh, good morning, Sister Veronica TV. Happy Sunday to you as well. Thank you. So we should learn how to understand people's situation. We should learn how to find out more about the present situation before we should be involving on asking people to just forgive. Because sometimes people do said, okay, thank you, people do said, I have forgive, but the person just forgive that person from the mind, like he has forgive. But don't try to force the person that, oh, because you have forgive, why are both of you not together again? Forgiveness is one thing. Forgiveness is forgive. Thank you for coming in. Forgiveness is forgive and move on. You forgive the person, but you have moved on with your life. And by the time you say that you are forgiving somebody and you have decided to move on with your life, people find it very difficult that no, if you forgive, you still have to be with that person. No, oh, good morning, my beautiful lady. Good morning, my sister, for joining. Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful mama in the house. So one thing is that the person have forgive, the person might have forgive, but the person want to move on. You don't want to be with that person anymore. You forgiving somebody does not mean that if you forgive that person, you still have to be with the person. No, it's not done like that. You can forgive the person, then you move on with your life. Because one, forgiveness. Two, accepting the person back. So you see, there is something that is in between these two things. There is something that is in the middle on it. Somebody you love, you can easily forgive. Yes, Mama, I know that for somebody that you love, you can easily forgive. Yes, but it all depends on the damages that person that you claim that you love, depends on the damages that person might have caused you. That is the area I'm trying to figure out, that before we ask somebody to say forgive, forgive is something, but forgiveness have to come from the mind. It's not something that we need to have the spirit of love. Yes, I know, but spirit of love and forgiveness is two different things that we are saying. Oh. It's two different things, because one is that this person might have caused you some situation that this person might have put that person into. It might be that that situation, for the rest of the person's life, that person cannot be able to come out of that situation. So that is why it has to be that forgiveness, the person that has been hurt, have to feel it inside. Because forgiveness is not something that you just pretend and said, okay, I have forgive the person, then you move on. All the people that has called me out on Facebook, I forgive them. Yes, okay, I forgive them, but I will never talk to them anymore. Exactly, I will never talk to them again. Exactly, that is what I am trying to say, that there are some damages that people will cause in life. There are some damages that people might have, somebody will cause you in life. You will forgive the person, but you can't accept that person back. So that is my main point. Like, I'm trying to figure it out inside forgiveness, because people will say, forgive. But by the time you say to the person that I have forgive you, they will say, but why am I still calling you? You are not picking my call. So it's good people understand these two things, that once you forgive, it's not really necessary that the person will forgive you and still accept you back. No, it's forgive. That is another thing. Accepting back is another thing now again. So it's two things that is involved when it really comes to forgiveness. So that is the part that I'm trying to explain out of this forgiveness, that people just think that, oh, this person is heartless. Let me share. Okay, thank you, my lady. Please share it. Thank you. So that is the main part that I'm trying to figure it out, that people need to understand that forgiveness is one word on its own. Then accepting back is another thing. So people want someone to forgive and still say, because of the love you have, when you forgive the person, you will not. Let me read this comment. You will not be some bitter again when you remember. Mama, yes, somebody will feel bitter. That is why I said all depends on the damages that person might have caused. All depends on the damages. Just bear with me 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute. Hey, come and get his breakfast. Sorry, my little boy just wake up now. So all depends on the damages that the person might have caused. That is why you can be able to know if you will forgive the person or not. So it's a two different word that people want you to forgive and accept it again. No, it's good we give someone time. When somebody has been hurt, it is good we give the person time to be able to take time to forgive, because it's not the way we just see it that, oh, okay, let's look at it this way now. Maybe, for example, you happen to be my friend. Now I'm throwing this one out to Sister Veronica. Sister Veronica TV, please. I want you to answer this question now. For example, yeah, I'm your friend now. Then I've caused a situation. Say, please attend on my prince. Thank you. So imagine now, I happen to be that I'm your friend. Yeah, I've drag you into trouble that take your like that happen to be that it will terminate your image. Then I will expect you to forgive me and receive me back just like that. Let's be honest on this. I would just expect you, after I've caused you that situation now, then I will expect you to forgive me and accept me back after I've terminated your image. Will you be able to do that? Will you be able to do that? Exactly, exactly. So that is what I'm trying to make people to know, that forgiveness is easy for us to say. It's easy for us to encourage somebody and say forgive, forgive, but it's a very massive word. That is why I said forgiveness. There is a lot that is hidden behind the forgiveness. We are all human. Sometimes we really need to say it the way things really is. It's really good we say it the way it is, because for example now, you hurt somebody and maybe the situation you put that person for the rest of that person's life. Let's come to the love part now. Okay, woman is, she's been married to a man now, then the man have caused that woman, putting that woman in the situation that that woman will live for the rest of her life. She will be living on medication for the rest of her life. He said, I will forgive but not to be close to you like before. Exactly, that is a very simple thing. You just answer it nicely. You have forgiven me, but you will not accept me back again. You will not accept me back again, but from your mind, you have forgiven me as a person. You have tried to clean your sincere heart and said, okay, I have forgive her, but you can never ever receive me back again because I have betrayed you. That trust is not there anymore. So when a trust is not in a relationship anymore, there is no how you can receive that person back again. So that is the main part me I'm just like focusing on, to make people to understand that forgiveness is one, accepting back is two. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, my mama. Thank you. He said, let me read. I want to be taking comments. I really want to be taking. Said, there are things people will do to you that will hurt you so bad. You will forgive, but you won't ever to have anything to do with them again. Exactly, but I don't mean we are enemy. Yes, I know that. I understand what you are trying to say, Sister Veronica. You don't mean that we are enemy, but you are not accepting me back again. And I'm still going to talk about what my lady just said just now. Yes, there are the way you are going to hurt somebody. That person will never ever, no matter how people will try to make the person to say, just forgive the person, forgive. Yes, the person has forgive, but that person will never ever have anything to do with that person again. So that is why I'm trying to separate these two things down. Forgiveness is a word on its own, is one thing, but accepting back is a different thing. But people don't want to understand that thing. People don't want to understand it, that is in between. That accept is hiding inside the forgiveness. People don't want to accept it. So I'm just going to give a simple example with myself now, because I'm a human. Okay, somebody have hurt me. Yeah, I'm just going to say mine now. For example, somebody have hurt me. Somebody have said things about me that, like, each time I remember, the thing really hurts me. And even people have even tried to ask me, this is what I've heard about you. Is it true? Is it lie? My kind of person is like, I don't like to explain anything to people, because I just think that I don't, is my life. Because I can't just, I said to the person, however you will hear it, just take it like that. I leave the matter for God. Then tomorrow now, this person starts seeing me. She's telling me, hello, good morning, how are you? I will say, I'm fine. Then the person will call me. Then she will expect me to pick the call. No, you get my point? No, because, but if we see on the road, we can say good morning, good afternoon, and it's done there. But don't expect that if you call me, I'm going to pick your call. We start having a normal conversation. It can't be possible. We cannot continue having a normal conversation again, because that feeling, that friendship is not there anymore. Let me take a comment again. He said, but it does, okay, he said, it make you to know that kind of person they are to you. Yes, yes, definitely. It will make me to know the kind of person that they are to me. Yes, but people cannot accept it that you are forgiving them. They don't understand that part that you have already forgiven them. People want you to forgive and take them back again. So that is my own basic point of topicing about this forgiveness, that it is good we all humans should understand that forgiveness is a very sensitive something. It's very, very sensitive, because pain is pain. No matter how strong Christian that we will be, we are human. In our blood, in our vein, we all use flesh and blood. That is what we use on our body. That is what managing us. So, and we all have our own weakening point, and we all have that feeling. We are all human. All human have a human feeling. We all have that feeling. We are human beings. So once somebody hurts you, is hot, and there is no way we can really do about it. Even if you try to hide the pain, pain is a pain. That is why there is an image that shows sad face and the smiling face. So once the face is sad, even if you try to fake smile, you don't come say no, you can't talk them like that again, because you have learned your lesson. Yes, I've learned my lesson. I've no, get to understand the kind of people the kind of person that person was to me. But the person will not take it. They want you. So forgiveness is a very sensitive thing. It's things that we all really need to understand. When somebody said, I have forgive you, but know that the heart was being hurt there. That heart has been broken already if it's a relationship. So that is why you see life sometimes, like me as a human. If somebody said, if I'm talking to somebody now, maybe two friends, they split, then I try to talk to one, the one who said, oh, I don't want to know anything about that person again. I do understand it, because some people, if something have not really happened to you, you cannot really understand the feeling. You can't really get it the way it is. You don't really know when somebody that has that situation is trying to explain that this thing hurts. You can't really understand it, because you can't find it. You are just kind of, what is the problem? It's just the way it is. The problem does not really have to be a big problem. You understand? Because there are some little things that people will do to somebody. My goodness. There are some little things that there are some pinch people they know how to pinch. When they pinch that place, just a tiny pinch they give. Thank you everyone for joining. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. When they pinch, that place that they pinch, it will bleed. You understand? Some people know how to pinch, and they know the right place to pinch, and they know the right place to hold. Okay, you are right, sister. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, my darling sister. Thank you, Mama, for joining. Thank you. So that is it. They need to understand and also learn, and not to be doing that some to other person again. Exactly. Yes, if you don't let them really learn, if you don't really let them understand, if you don't let them know the situation that they have caused you, you cannot be able, the next time they will try to do that thing to somebody else again, they will try to do it to someone else again, because they have not really learned their lesson. They have not really learned their lesson. That is why it's good when somebody hurts you. It's good you let the person know that this thing that you do to me, that is it. Exactly. That is the way it's supposed to be. Because when somebody dealt with somebody emotion, because some people, they don't understand, like they are playing with your kind of emotional life. It's not just a love life that somebody have emotion, because when you have a friend, you really get used to that person, that if the person hurts you, you feel sick. You really feel sick, because you can't believe it, because the kind of love that you have for each other, you will never expect that that person can hurt you that manner. So when the hurtness come, when the person hurts you, you really feel sick. Let me take a pic and just say, oh, Veronica TV. And if you know that you are a content creator, you are here, just show each other love. Yes. Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, if you know that you are a content creator, you are here, just show each other love. Show each other love. I believe If you are a content creator, you understand my language. Just show each other love, because we have three amazing content creator in the house. Just show each other love. Just roll along with each other. Let the love just flow. There, we have three amazing content creator in the house. So that was just my break. I just want to let that understand. Just show each other love. And please, for the comments, let's be very specific with it, please. Thank you. So people should get to understand that once somebody has been hurt, you need is a wound. Because we should all understand that these are hurting each other. We all, in one way or the other, maybe I might have hurt somebody already, or you might have hurt somebody already, but it is good we understand it that hurting someone is just like a wound in the flesh. Is a wound in the flesh. And once you have a wound in the flesh, that wound needs time to be healed. The wound needs time to be healed. So once the wound needs time to be healed, it's good we give that wound time to be healed. We should not be so rushed, because nobody will ever have a wound in the flesh and in the next 24 hours that wound has already been healed. No, it's a very simple example. Once we have a wound in our flesh, it takes the time for the wound to be healed. Then once the wound is healed, there is always a mark, just like example with what I'll be showing now. You see, this is a wound that was in the flesh. The wound has already been healed, but there is still a mark there. You see, that is it. It's there. The mark is there. That mark is there. So we need to give that mark time to be clear. So hurting somebody feeling is just like that. Hurting someone feeling is just like that if you already hurt somebody, thank you. If you already hurt somebody, give that person time. Give the person time for the person to be able to forgive. The person really needs time to be able to forgive. Just give that person time for the person to create that time to forgive. That is the way forgiveness should be. We should not be too forcing with some people. Like there can be some relationship now. The man have already beat up that woman. He has beat the woman. He has and he has been hurting this woman in 100 ways. He will cheat. He will do this. He will do the other one. He has been maltreating the woman for many years. Then by the time the woman will say, I don't want the friendship anymore, then you just start telling people will come apologize to that woman. Then you just want that woman to accept you back the next day. No, it don't really do like that. It's not really working like that. Things don't really work like that. That woman needs that time for the wound to be healed. And when the wound is healed, she also needs the time for the spot to be fade. So we should all know the heart is just like that. Hurting somebody feeling is just like that. That is the way it is. We should all learn how to understand each other, that if you hurt me, don't expect me that the next day we should just take things like normal, like nothing happened. No, it's not good like that. That is why today there are so many things that is happening. When somebody will say, I have forgive you, then the next 2 minutes they split again. Then you will say, but she said yes, because you didn't give the person time. You didn't give the person time for the person to take his or her time to recover from that hotness that you give, and for that person to have time to decide if the person is ready to forgive you. And once the person forgive you, don't expect that person to accept you back, because you don't know how far and you don't know how deep that you might have hurt that person. So we should learn to understand that bit of it. Of when it comes to forgiveness, we should not just be like forcing people to say, oh, you need to forgive. The Bible said forgive. The Bible said forgive. We know. But always also go back to the feeling that is inside, that person needs time to be able to recover from that pain. Then by the time the person recover, if the person don't want to accept you back, just leave it the way it is, because is another thing now, is accepting the friendship back, that you should be focusing that if the person don't accept me back, take it to be normal. It can be in a relationship, maybe man and woman. It can just be on a normal casual friendship like that. We should learn how to accept it. That it's not every forgiveness that the person must accept the other parts back. And once the person don't want to accept you back, is not like, don't take it to be a big something that, oh, this person, she call herself a Christian, or why she don't have the mind of forgiveness. No, the person have already forgive you, but the person don't want to accept you back, and you should just learn how to live it like that. Maybe one day, by the time the person might have recovered from that wound, maybe the person might make up her mind or his mind to accept you back. But it's not something that can happen sharp, 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 like that, the way we want it to happen. No, because when it's physical, it's very easy for somebody to control. If it's physical thing, it's very easy for somebody to control. But if it's emotion, you can't see it. And the most painful part of it is that the emotional trauma is the hardest part of everything. Thank you. Thank you, Veronica TV. Thank you. So it's the emotional thing, it's the emotional trauma that is the challenges part of it inside. Because sometimes you just kind of try to let it go. You are just kind of, okay, let me just forgive and just keep on. But the emotional part of it won't let you do that. So we should all understand that emotional feeling, emotional pain, emotional distress is a very big something, is a very, very massive things when it comes to forgiveness. Something, the emotional part is inside, and nobody can easily see that one. We just see the physical action, but by the time the person is kind of trying to be able to force, and if before you forgive somebody, don't force yourself to forgive someone, and don't forgive someone because people are telling you to forgive. No, that one is not forgiveness. That is not forgiveness. Don't, because like at the end of the day, people are just like, oh, 100 people have begged this woman. She's a very wicked woman. How many people have apologized to her? Why she can't just forgive? No. Forgiveness does not have to be like, it's not something that because you ask me to forgive, I'll just forgive and say, okay, no. Forgiveness have to be like, you have to be, you that want to forgive somebody, you have to be well prepared. And before you forgive the person, you have to think properly what that person has caused you, what the person have done to you. You think about it and you accept accept it in your mind that, okay, there's no problem. He has caused me this, he has caused me that, he has caused me the other one. Then before you make up your mind to forgive, not that just because, oh, my dad asked me to forgive, let me just forgive. Oh, good afternoon, Mama. Good afternoon, my big Mama. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So forgiveness has to be that something that you have made up in your mind for you to be able to just say, okay, I've forgiven this person. It has to be something that comes from you. You don't have to be something that because people said forgive, you just forgive. No. It don't work like that, because forgiveness has to be feeling from your heart. It has to be something that your mind speak to you for you to do. It has to be something that your mind asks you to do before you will do it. If your mind asks you to do something, then before you can do it, it's not because people has been, you don't want to offend somebody. Some people sometimes they forgive someone just because they don't want to offend somebody. Just because they don't want to offend somebody, just because somebody have said to them that, oh, somebody like me, if I leave my house and come to your house and say to you, I've talked to you, am I not big enough to be your father? Am I not big enough to be your elder brother? Am I not big enough to be this? Then you just accept it. That one, you did forgive that person. You just accept it for the respect of the person that talked to you. And forgiveness is not done that way. Forgiveness have to be that you have made up your mind. So that is what I understand about forgiveness. So that is why I just like, okay, let me explain my own part, the way I understand this forgiveness, that okay, it has to be something that you have already made up your mind to do before you will do it. Because if you are doing that forgiveness because somebody's telling you that I'm big enough to be your father, I'm big enough to be your husband, I'm big enough to be your elder brother, I'm big enough to be your mother, you just forgive that person like that. That one is no, you didn't forgive the person. You didn't forgive that person. You just do it for doing sake. Forgiveness is the day you have decided and said, okay, I've recovered from my wound. I can manage myself now. Okay, I've forgiven you. It has to be you that will say to the person, I have forgiven you. And sometimes, if the damages is not a lot, you can forgive the person and you continue with that person. It can be your husband, can be your fiancé, can be your partner. It can be your normal friendship, just friend with benefit. It can be a hand, let me call it like that. Friend with benefit. It can just be your normal friend with benefit, somebody that you just forgive the person, then you accept the person like that. But if what that person have done to you have caused you a lot of damages in your life, and you just forgive the person, is forgiveness, and you forgive that person and you move on. And I expect that person to respect that decision, not start saying to people that, oh, she says she's a Christian. Look at her now. She said she knows she's a Christian, and look at the way she's doing something. She's not. She says she has forgiven me. I'm talking to her. Look at the way she's replying to me. No. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you. So it's not like that. So once the person have said to you, you know, or I know what I've cost that person, or you know what you have cost the person. If the person said to you, I have forgiven you, don't try to push forward. Don't try to push. Don't try to like, let's be the way we was before. Just like what our lady just said before. She said she has forgive, but she cannot accept them back again. Very simple. She make it very clear and simple and said, yes, I have forgiven, but I can't accept this person back again in my life. But that does not mean that she have not forgive. But we as a human, we will start saying that, oh, she have not forgive. She have forgiven. She have made up her mind and said, she have, oh, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining. Thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you. Wow. So she have already said she have forgive. She have forgiven that person, but she have made up her mind to move on with her life. So that is her own private life now, that she have speak to herself and said, I have forgiven this person because I'm a human and I have that heart of forgiveness, because forgiveness is things of heart. Thank you for the thumbs up, sir. Thank you. It's the things of heart. It's not the things of you have to ask somebody to do. So if she have already made up her mind and said she have forgiven this person, then she have made up her mind not to accept those people back in her life again. I would say that she have already forgiven that person. She really does. She forgive the person, but she is not accepting that person back to her life again. That does not mean that she's a bad person. It does not mean that she don't have the mind of forgiveness. She forgive already, but she don't want to take that person back to her life again. And it's very simple, because nobody know the emotional trauma that person might have caused to her, and nobody know the damages that person might have caused to her, and nobody know how far that person went that far to try to destroy a personal image. Image is a very big thing. It's a very massive thing, and the way some people just try to mess up someone's image is very hard. If not for God, if not for the love of God, you cannot forgive some people. That is the way I say it sometimes. So there are some things that somebody will do to me. Sometimes I will say, if not because of the love of God, that God have already give that blood. He has sacrificed a lot. Who am I not to forgive this person? That is just that one, because there are things that people will do to somebody in life, like trying to terminate your image. That one is a massive thing. If somebody tried to terminate my image, it's very hard. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Veronica TV. Yeah, you are right, of course, because it's very hard. Because terminating somebody' image is a very big thing. Because what represents you is your image. So when somebody will say in the name of love, and try to terminate your image, or in the name of friendship, try to terminate your image. So is is a very massive something for you to forgive that person. You have already done a lot, and if you caused somebody that kind of pain in life, that person have said to you, I have forgive you. Thank God, and don't push more. Thank you, Mama. Yeah, that is my big Mama. Yes, Mama Orobosa. Yes, that is truth. Is a big thing for you. Once you have already terminated somebody image, that person have try to find the pieces that was left in her mind to forgive you. Thank God for that, because it's really hard. Once the person have said I forgive you, thank God and accept the person like that, and don't try to push forward till that person will say, okay, now we can move on. But people will not want to accept it. Some people want you, they will hurt you today, tomorrow they want you to forgive, that same tomorrow they want the friendship to continue like that. Are we not human? We are all human. Sometimes the way we try to make people, and the way we try to force people to do things, is like you are causing more damages. I'm going to throw like a bit of story, just a tiny one in here. A lady, her husband really hurt her so bad. When she explained what the man do to her, it is not easy like that. Thank you, Veronica TV. It's not easy like that. When I tried to talk to her, I talked to her because I heard what happened. I talked to her. Everybody was trying to talk to her. The first question that she asked me was very one question. And trust me, that question shut my mouth down. I'm not going to lie to you. The first question that she asked me, she said, you have been explaining to me since, telling me that, oh, because of the kids, because of this, because of that, that I should forgive my husband. I said yes. Then she asked me one question that make this my mouth to where zip up. She asked me, do you know the emotional trauma that I've been through for more than 10 years? It was just one question. Trust me, I didn't have answer to it. Do you know what I said? I apologized to her. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I just said to her, oh, my lady, I'm sorry. That was one question that she asked me. She said, if I know, I can't say nothing because I don't know the emotional trauma that she went through. And when she asked me that question, if I know the emotional trauma that she went through, there was water dropping out of her face. So that means she know what she's going through in her mind. She know the emotional trauma that she's going through in her mind. So till she will heal from that. So I can't start saying that, oh, this person do not know. I was zip up with just that one question that she asked me. Do you know the emotional trauma that I've been through for the more than how many years? I don't know. You see? So if she didn't tell me that word, I would start saying, no, you need to forgive, you need to this. But she have already asked me, and I don't know the emotional trauma that relationship have drag her to. So I just have to leave her because I know that it's something that is inside. So she needs time to deal with that situation. She needs time to overcome that situation before she can take a decision of what to do, if it's to forgive or not. And she said one word to me and said, I have forgiven him, but I don't want to see him. You see? I have forgiven him, but I don't want to see him. That is what she said. And do you know what I do? Honestly speaking, I go to Google, because the way I understand forgiveness before, it was very different to the way I understand it now. Trust me, I went to Google. I went to do research. I said, let me really find out about this forgiveness, because the way I understand it is just what the Bible tells us, that forgive and forget. Me, I'm just focusing on that one. Then when she now tell me her emotional pain, then that one was a different thing now that has to do with her own feeling inside. What I did, I went to Google, I put honestly, I went to put what is the meaning of forgiveness. That is what I did, honestly. I put it. Then Gogo explained it in a very simple way. Then I said, oh my God, that is the way that is right when people said they are forgiving that person, but yet they can't be in that relationship, or yet they can't talk to that their friend. Then Gogo just make it very clear to me and said, forgiveness is that you have already forgiven that person for the pains that that person might have caused you, but it's not mean that you are ready to accept the person back. You see, I said, wow. He said, yes, forgiveness mean that you have already forgiven that person, but that does not mean that you are ready to accept the person back. Then I now said, oh my God, that means when somebody will say, I've forgiven you, but the person is not accepting you back, that means that is the way he is. That is a forgiveness. Yes, she has done that, but accepting is hidden inside this forgiveness. So I'm just here to explain the bit that I know about forgiveness, that it is good we have the heart to forgive. And in the other hand, we should also understand that to accept us back. So is a very simple things now for us to understand that. However, we try to make people to accept us back. They, like, just because the person have said they are forgiving us, however, we might have tried to make sure that that person accepts us back. It's not easy for the person to do till that person is willing to accept back. And if the person is not willing to accept back, that does not mean that the person have not forgive also. If anybody have question, drop it, then let me answer it before we round up. And thank you everyone for your time. I don't want to take much of anybody's time. I just want to make this video to be very brief, just to understand, so that we all get to understand one thing, that when somebody forgive us, it does not mean that the person have to accept us back. He has already forgive, and these two things, forgiveness is one, the other one is accept. So we should know that accept is inside the forgiveness. So once the person said, I have forgiven you, we should respect the person decision that the person is not ready to accept back, but that does not mean that that person is unbeliever, and that does not mean that that person don't have the mind of forgiveness. He or she has forgive, but till the heart will be prepared to accept back, we should learn how to respect that decision, because it's a feeling that comes from inside, not outside. I'm going to be leaving everybody with this one now. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for your time, and I hope everybody have a lovely, blessed Sunday, and we'll still continue seeing. I still remain your girl, your humble sister. Do not fail to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, I beg. I'm not fussing. Thank you everyone for watching. Please support your girls, support your younger sister, support your friend, support your lady. I can't do it on my own. Without nobody watching me, I can't kick on with the program. Thank you everyone for sharing my program. Thank you, my lady. Thank you, all my beautiful daddies and mommy in the house, for your supporting to your little girl. Keep on sharing my video. Recommend me, and on this my channel, there's a lot of things that I do. I do DIY. I do a lot of things here. Always try to put a bit of your time to always check out. This your younger sister. Yes, that's my big mommy there. Yeah. This my always try to figure time out to check on my YouTube. Maybe you will find something that might be interesting. Thank you everyone, and I will see everybody shortly. Bye bye.